荒野の風、土に埋もれた残骸、星空を震わせる遠吠え、匂いだ。狼の匂い。
Alright, let's finally get this
レッド
chapter
ハンティ
started
ング
again.
開始。
Let's continue this chapter finally. As soon as we finish up some excess
これがロド
things.
スの中か。構造図がどうなってるか見てみたいな。
ドクターって執務室にいるはずだよね。
This room has interesting decor. I'd be more fond of a futuristic.
Why do you do
こ
that?
こ掃除してあるんでしょう
Why
ね。
does my game do that?
ランセット2姉様はどこだ。
マッキンキンの部屋はねえのかよ。まあ行ってみただけだろ。
このふわふわ絶対気持ちいいよね。この部屋まずい。人を眠りに誘うデザインだ。
All right, let's take a breather. これでいい。
Is there anyone else here?
Why does everyone give me 2s? I need a 3. I have an extra 7. Oh, I do have a 3.
Doctor, 疲れた?
Caster Stewart reporting in. I'm glad to be working with you.
私はカッター。ただの傭兵だ。オリパシーを患ったので、ここで働く代わりに。行動予備隊 A6 の
パッケか。
です。A6 の。どうも、ヘイズだよ。
Oh, random maze.
好きなものは気楽な。
Nothing. 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 I guess I already have a maxed out cutter. I'm missing one because I'm pretty sure I'm not at 37. 36. I was pretty sure. There wasn't a big update either. Thought I was at 36. Oh, Podenko. I'm guessing right there. Why is it doing that?
怖くはないわ。
どこに行けば皆さんの援護は任せてください。はい、こういう雑草ならたくさん見てきましたから。どこに行けばこういう雑草ならたくさん見てきましたから。どこに行けばいい、私が何とかします。はい、はい、私が何とかします。
Easy.
完璧な勝利を得ることは美しいお花を咲かせることと同じように大変なお仕事ですね。
Ah, not a 50 trust with her. So I was gonna say 36 for a bit.
疲れた。
Am I missing anyone? I don't think I am. But good to make sure. No. 186th day since making it back to Londinium. 3 more men joined us today. 2 of them are seriously hurt. Only Robin is still able to fight. In just this area, there is still at least 70 men in the enemy's hands. With all of Londinium fallen, there's no telling how many soldiers have been captured. I don't know whether they are still alive, and I certainly don't know whether I should hope they are still alive. Every day, someone who fought so hard to live leaves us forever. I try to remember the names of each and every one of them, but the truth is that by the time I meet these men, most of them can no longer speak. I wish even just one more pair of ears could have heard their voices, and I wish there could have been someone here to hear my voice. I hope you will one day see these records. I hope your mission outside is successful. I hope you won't be back in Londinium so soon. Horn, we've got the new hand settled in. Thanks, Blake. Don't give them any missions just yet. Let them rest a couple of days. Horn, I don't need time to settle in. I can go out there and fight whenever. Fine. Blake, assign Robin to 4th. He'll join the next shift as a scout. Roger that, Horn. Perfect timing. Dublin activity has been on the rise. We needed more men. The 3rd still isn't back. Robin, you should stay here and get some rest. I can do something else. I suggest you come over here and sit down. We have half an hour at most. Don't waste it. Alright. And I understand how you feel. You want to go out there and fight, right? The battle this morning wasn't enough to sate your hunger. Right. My hand is still trembling. It wants me to hold my crossbow a while longer. Robin, remember one thing. We're here not because we have to kill a few more Dublin soldiers or Sarkaz. Our top priority is to survive. After that, it's to make sure as many of us survive as possible. Horn, I understand. Good. Now get some rest. What is that you're holding? A notepad. It's just some random scribblings. Pay it no mind. You mentioned that you worked alone for a very long time. No wonder you have that kind of habit. Maybe it's because I've been a captain for too long. It felt like something was missing when I had no one to give orders to. Thankfully, Blake and the lads stole this pen from the Dublin forces. Otherwise, I'd have to carve everything out letter by letter in the sewers. Have you really done that before? Go take a look at the sewers all the way at the edge of the city. You might just find my magnum opus, Victoria, a brief history, personally carved by my own hand. How long did that take you? I'm just pulling your leg. Let's save the chit-chat for another time. Dublin could be here at any moment. I'll get some sleep. You should too. General, Dublin's feline caster is here. She wants to see you. Is she alone? Yes, she didn't bring anyone else. Let her through. General, her arts are hard to defend against. So it's your opinion that I can't handle her original arts? No, that is absolutely not what I meant. General, just like General Teresa's, you have my utmost respect as a warrior. Then go back to where you belong. Yes, General. Hodor, stay here. I'm sure you are already prepared, having met with the Confessarius. This is a messenger. I have a job for you. You want me to find the people from the ship. You worked with them before. I am a mercenary. Mercenaries never remember who we work with, not unless their heads are worth a lot. Surely it must be easy to deal with old friends, no? Maybe. The Babel assassin has already made it to the city center. It's the Confessari's job to fend her off. As for the others, Hodor, why don't you take a guess who they have? The mercenaries in the city still haven't found any traces of any one of them. They will make their move sooner or later. For the past 6 months, our eyes in Victoria have been keeping a close eye on that ship. Yet, they were always one step ahead of us, to the point where they came all the way to Londinium without any of us noticing. Why do you think that's the case? There's only one possibility. There's someone working for them in Londinium. Someone working for them. An agent. They must have planted this sleeper agent years ago, and this agent must be of some standing too. Otherwise, there is no way they could have escaped our watchful eyes. Makes sense. My impression is that the Dame Doctor's methods can be unorthodox. Hodor, look into the backgrounds of all the rebels we captured recently. You think we've already caught them? There must be a reason why the Rhodes Islanders are still loitering nearby. "1:15 p.m. Overcast. Underground structure. Sudian Borough, Londinium." Here we are. Who's there? Old Bill, it's me. I'm back. It's you, huh, lad? I just saw Rockrock. I thought you two left on a mission together. She came back first since she had something to take care of. Who are these folks you have with you? Wait, Sarkaz? Don't... It's very likely that they're the ones the commander's been waiting for. I thought she's waiting for allies. There's no way they could be a bunch of devils. Bill, give me a break. Where's the commander? I'll see her right now. Think about it. Do you really think there's a chance I could be a traitor? Not one bit. Everyone here treats you like you're their own baby brother. Rockrock had you guard this place, right? Bring a few more men. You can escort us there. Alright, if you say so. As for you lot, don't even think about pulling any funny moves. We're watching you, Sarkaz. Amiya, I feel a little unwelcome. Like, I've never felt this unwelcomed. It'll be hard for us to work together. Sorry, they aren't usually like this. It's just, they're a little sensitive about how some of you look. Things will be much better once our commander talks some sense into them. Come with me. They're having a meeting up ahead. Did you not hear that? They blew up the port with the defensive cannons. We can't stay here any longer. It's too risky. But if we leave Sudian, it won't be easy for us to come back to help the people here. I want to help them too. You don't think I don't want to? But do you know where our people are locked up? Are our men supposed to search house by house in front of the Sarkaz? Feist and Rockrock have been searching for information. They're too slow. The situation has changed. The Sarkaz could blow this hideout to smithereens at any moment. All our hard work, gone. The hideout is dead. Those people are alive. That's awfully easy for you to say. It's not like it was you business folks who built this place from scratch bit by bit. Did we come at a bad time? Don't worry, the commander won't mind. Most folks here come from very different backgrounds. They may not agree with each other sometimes, but all of us stand together. Besides, no matter how out of hand their feud gets, as long as the commander is here, we'll find a solution in the end. Seems you really trust her. She rescued most of us. If it wasn't for our commander, we would long have died by the hands of the Sarkaz or Dublin. Just like Rock, her pa was beaten to death by the mercenaries because he wasn't willing to sell the defense force out. As for me, I didn't want to work for the Sarkaz, so me and a few co-workers ran all the way here from Highbury. We almost died of hunger in the tunnels. In the end, it was the commander who found us. She was the one who pulled each of us up from our hopelessness and united us. All of us look up to her, and we trust that she will lead us through each and every hopeless situation we'll come across. Commander, help me out. We should get out of here right now, right? Commander, I suggest we start a rescue operation right away. Commander. Armo, Tyrell, calm down, both of you. Time is of the essence. This is no time for infighting. That voice. Vina, what's the matter? No, nothing. I might have just misheard. Mr. Feist is the one who last spoke of your commander? She sounds very young. Surprising, isn't it? When I first met her, I thought the exact same thing. Do you remember how I figured out you were the leader the moment I saw you, goddess lady? Soon, you'll know how I knew. Come, let's meet our commander. And I thought it was Rock. And now I know. It's that girl. Who I've never met. Except in the music video. Which didn't really spoil me at all, because it didn't say literally anything. I know how you feel, everyone, but there is one point that I think requires no discussion. We will save our brothers and sisters in arms. If we let our enemies hurt our warriors, who would be willing to fight alongside us? If we let our enemies take our friends away, who will be willing to offer us a helping hand? We are the Londinium Citizens Self-Salvation Corps. We must save Londinium, but before that we need to save each and every one of our living friends. Her hands are slender and delicate, fragile even, yet it seems to have enough power to quell the anger and anxiety that is about to boil over. The meeting room falls into silence. Those in attendance naturally cast their eyes on the commander. It is as though none of them have ever doubted whether her narrow shoulders could bear their heavy hope. The scene is somewhat familiar. Most of the Rhodes Island operators feel this way. They all turn their gazes towards the goddess who stands in front of them. I think I know what Feist means now. They really are kind of like, huh? Right? I agree. Everyone, quiet down. Let's not interrupt their meeting. Looks like we have a few new friends to greet before we discuss a concrete rescue plan. Feist, bring them here. Yes, Commander. Well met, Rhodes Island. I've been looking forward to your arrival. I'm Clovicia. Clovicia. I'm a commander of the Londinium Citizens Self-Salvation Corps. That's a mouthful. General, the commander of the Dublin is here. Madame Mandragora. General Manfred. I trust you are here because you have something important to discuss. You saw everything and you still put up this act? Are you really a sarcas? They don't seem to be so tricky, like you. Madame Mandragora, your words just now could be taken as an insult to the sarcas. Whatever you say. I'm here to apologize anyway. Oh, you have an apology. My men have had a little misunderstanding with your people down at the port. Misunderstanding? I'm here because I wanted to make sure the cooperation between us still stands. Madam, let me remind you again, there are no concrete terms that we must follow for our cooperation to continue. Dublin will not interfere with Sarkez operations in Londonium. In exchange, we will allow you to remain in the demarcated area here. You can take that as a tactic understanding between the two of us. You told me, yes, and I haven't forgotten. Right, and it doesn't matter if you have. We will consider the ruckus earlier a reminder. Thank you. Don't be so quick to thank me. The Sarkaz are not as forgetful as you. What do you want me to do then? Do you want my life? Is that what you really want? If that's what I actually wanted, you would not have made it here. And you wouldn't have taken to the steps of Westlag those months ago either. What we want to see is a bit of sincerity from Dublin. And not the kind of sincerity where you snatch a few Victorian soldiers from us or kidnap a couple Londonium citizens who escaped. It's about time that we actually cooperate. Horn, what's wrong? I didn't want to bother you, but Sally, she's not going to last much longer. His leg is so swollen that you can't even squeeze any more pus out. Is the third back yet? No, things were a mess outside this morning. It might have delayed things for them. How many men do we have? Including the new blood, we have a total of 17 who can fight. The second will stay. High alert. I'll bring 5 men with me and pay the Dublin's borrowed home a little visit. But if you go back, what will you do if you run into Mandragora again? Sally can't wait much longer. He needs medicine. Without painkillers and anti-inflammatories, he won't even make it through the afternoon. Do any of you have anything that's worth money? Old Aiton's been racking his brains just to figure out how to trade for enough food each day. If we don't take it from Dublin, who are we supposed to turn to? The Sarkaz? Or do you mean to ask the civilians for help? Have you given it any thought what the enemy will do for them if they offer us anything? Dejection won't buy us our friends' lives. Pack it up. Bring any weapons we can use. We'll leave immediately. Robin, you said you haven't killed enough of them, right? Lucky you. Your chance is here. Alright, let's go, Fast Knights.
I'll do as you say.
I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm listening.
悪くない位置取りです。
一発で倒れてなんちゃ
速さで行く。
お役に立てず発光の的です。
待ちくたびれたぜ。待ちくたびれたぜ。
早く。
The guilty will be punished.
喧嘩なら
簡単だ。
Got it. I'm aware of what I'm doing. ここかな I'm listening.
世の規則に背く悪党め。
視界良好。
もう逃げ場ない。
見せてあげよう。相当八山砲の真髄を。
簡単だ。
はい、格好の的です。
I'm aware of what I'm doing.
I come from the shadows. So, let us sink into the night.
ワイモのいじめは許さん。
国家了解。
この目にお前の死を映す。
What is it?
I come from the shadows.
Alright. Fast Nights is not happening.
ドクター、私が援護するね。
This chapter does not like Fast Nights. I don't think I need Mudrock.
Let's go. Let's begin. Got it.
Target marked.
Here I come!
Initiation complete.
When 'tis a choice of life and death, why shouldst thou lay down thy arm?
Shut up.
I'll do my best.
Oh, you dare strike my shield with your spear? That's gonna end with you in pieces!
I may have underestimated this operation.
Let's go! Oh, speaking of which, what was our objective again?
Got it. Cut them to pieces.
Senjo, それは変わらないもの。連綿たる山々となれ。チェーンソーの連綿たる山々となれ。
Shut up.
I'll do my best.
私の声に応えろ。
Forward.
I'm certain of the distance.
よくだよ。祝うよ。立ち上が
Shut up.
Target marked.
It's my turn.
鮮血が武器を収め戦場を沸き立たせる。大地こそが我が友。
Got it. Cut them to pieces.
I'm certain. Stay back!
よくだよ。祝うよ。立ち上がれ。
Program activating arch unit.
大地こそが我が友。
Can I?
私の声に応える。
Mission accomplished.
(3:22 p.m.) Overcast. Underground structure. Sudian Boro Londinium. I don't think this is a very smart decision. Rock, we don't have enough hands. There are many places above us where people can hide, and we still haven't checked at least third of Sudian. You know Harmo and the gang are getting ready for the move already. In a couple of days, they will be leaving this place, and so will the commander. When that happens, even if our team stays, our chances of rescuing anyone will be slim. That's no reason for them to join us. They aren't joining us, they're cooperating with us. Didn't you hear the commander? They're friends of a friend. We've accepted our friend's request and helped them enter Londinium, and they're here now. And if they can help us look for people, they can rest up in our hideout. That's the commander's order. And once they're done resting up, they'll leave this place. I'll escort them to somewhere safe above ground, and that'll be the end of it. Why can't we ask them if they're willing to stay for a short while? It'll just be a small favor. They might not turn us down. You know why. I told you. The commander thinks they can be trusted. There has to be a reason for that. So I'll stop questioning their motives. But I also don't want our men dragged into needless danger. Why do you think that what they're doing is dangerous? What do you think they're doing here? They sneaked into Londinium with a bunch of highly skilled Sarkaz, and they're making an enemy of those other Sarkaz. Feist, we're Victorians, we're used to this. You're talking about the Lords fighting day in and day out outside Londinium. Ever since we were born, they've been fighting amongst themselves to no end. If it wasn't because of all their infighting, our homes wouldn't have to become a Sarkaz backyard. It's tiring enough trying to take back our homes. The Sarkaz want to fight on our lands, and not only is there nothing we can do about it, it has nothing to do with us. But what if they can really stop the Sarkaz occupying the city? Maybe you think they're here to snatch the crown, but the way I see it, we have a common enemy. I'm not so confident to think that we can take control of the situation. Not like you. The Sarkaz, they're nothing like you think. They're that good at pretending. The day my dad was executed, I spotted a girl in the distance. The executioner called her Your Majesty. That was when I found out what the King of the Devils actually looked like. You never told me that before. Because I never saw the need to. I'm telling you this now because I want you to know we can't let ourselves be deceived by looks. Even though the Sarkaz woman had a flawless, unblemished appearance, even if she put up a look of pity for an old Londinier worker, totally unknown to her, I will never forget. She is the one who led the Sarkaz and killed my father, and countless more Victorians. She's the Lord of Fiends. Miss Amia? Mr. Feist? Miss Rockrock? That's all I have to say, Captain. I will head above ground and continue our search mission. You should really give what I said some thought. Sorry, Miss Amia. Doctor, I need to help Harmo tune his equipment, so please excuse me too. Doctor, the Sarkaz that Miss Rockrock mentioned doesn't sound like Teresa's. It's a white-haired woman with a compassionate look, and the Sarkaz called her Your Majesty. Doctor, you might have forgotten, but I will never forget even the tiniest detail about her expression or anything she said to me. You mean, I know it's impossible, but Doctor, from today onwards, you have the permission to access the following files. Some of the information in these files will be of interest to you, whether it's information about her or information on the powers that Amia has inherited. Talked about this and you didn't believe me. At this point in time, trust is meaningless. I can't deny the importance you hold to Amia, and the thing she needs most in this Londinium operation is your assistance. Doctor, no matter what you two find in Londinium, you have to face it with her, together. I know you can do it. Not so fast, Amia. Right, I need to stay calm. I was almost going to chase after Miss Rockrock to ask her who she saw. But that could further fuel her misunderstanding about us. It's okay to have feelings. Yeah, Doctor, I'm feeling better now. You might have heard a little about the past from Dr. Calcit before we came to Londinium, but there are some things that I haven't had the chance to talk to you about. Actually, for a very long time after that incident, I dreamt about you two a lot. In my dreams, you never talked. You just watched over me in silence. It was like that night out in the Barrens. You held my hands silently, and I could sleep soundly. I was able to feel you. I knew you were just asleep. Doctor, you might have been away for a little while, but you were still there. You were there with me still. Amia. But she's not the same. She told me a lot of things in my dreams, from the fate of every single Sarkaz at Rhodes Island to if I wasn't sleeping well, if it was cold. She warned me about lots of things. It was like she was right there by my side. The more that happened, the more it struck home that she has left us. You know her better than anyone. There is so much that she didn't want to leave behind, and so many people and things that she kept thinking about. Us, Dr. Calcit, Rhode Island, and the Sarkaz. If she was actually alive, would she not come back to us? Did Teresa's do something? Maybe? It's a very cruel method. Death is a very serious matter to the Sarkaz, much more so than any other race. The souls of a Sarkaz who passed eventually returns to her whole tribe. It's the greatest comfort to the Sarkaz after a lifetime of hardship. Doctor, you witnessed the passing of Patriot. It was a matter of dignity and pride. It was the last time a man saw his own fate. The silence of death gave him an answer, and this answer can forgive everything about him. No Sarkaz should ever have that final piece stolen from them, especially her, who gave everything to the Sarkaz. Doctor, do you remember what I said at the port? I know what emotion has taken hold of Londinium. It's anger. Sarkaz anger. And it's not just me who can hear it. This anger is so strong that all Sarkaz can hear it. Even a Wendigo altar can't give rise to such a strong resonance. It's like someone turned the Sarkaz's century-old burning anger into an actual raging fire. If no one puts a stop to it, sooner or later it will burn through Londinium's skies and spread, burning everything in its path. That's why we need to get close to it as soon as we can find out what the source of the fire that is engulfing everything actually is. I'm worried about you, Amia. You can see it, Doctor. Right? Emotionally, I'm not like I was before. The one ready to dive into the fire isn't the leader of Rhodes Island. Probably not the successor they keep talking about either. It's Amia. This is what I want. It's the answer I'm looking for as an individual. And it's true. I'm also a little scared. I'm afraid of that answer. I don't want to see Dr. Calcit and everyone have their hearts shattered. There's you too, Amia. Yeah, right. There's me too. If it's really her, I don't want to imagine what that might mean. But this is something I must face. There is no other way forward. We will walk this path together. Thank you, Doctor. Just knowing you're here by my side gives me the courage to keep going. I'll go talk to Commander Clavicia now to propose a partnership. Their friends were taken prisoner by the Sarkaz, and they need more manpower to rescue them. We also need their help. Going by our original plan, We should already have rendezvoused with our contact, the messenger lady. We need to figure out whether she's safe or not. She's a friend of the Salvation Corps. Maybe their commander could help us find her. That's not to mention their guidance will make our journey into central Londinium much more likely to succeed. Rhodes Island will prove to the Londinium Citizen Salvation Corps that we are not here for the Sarkaz crown. Horn, the Dublin forces are acting really strange. They're going that way. I thought Sark has troops regarding that area, though. Dublin would never have dared to go anywhere close with them around. They must have had their reasons. I'll tell them. Isn't that a tad risky? They have 10 times our manpower. And that's why I'm going alone. The rest of you will continue as planned. Look for resources at their stronghold. They've just started relocating. Most likely, they haven't had the time to haul their supplies away, too. Be careful out there. You too. Hey, get a move on. The commander doesn't want us to waste another second. I know you don't want to be doing this. Who does? Those stinking devils treating us like a bunch of mercenaries. But don't let me see you slacking off. You better not embarrass the commander in front of the Sarkaz. Why aren't you keeping up? M611, respond. What's going on? Don't move. It's you. M601, call for... Ah! Don't speak, either. Ugh. Hand over the comms. Alright, now you can speak. Tell me, what are you doing? Tell me, what are you helping the Sarkaz with? Like I tell you, you wicked Victorian wolf. Let me think. How'd the Dublin treat the Victorians who weren't willing to talk? They were hanged on a pulley a dozen meters off the ground, right? Too bad. I don't know how to make some stone columns with arts. I don't have an easy way to send someone so high up. You wouldn't. Wouldn't I? True. If I were as shameless as your commander, watching my people sacrifice themselves in country hillock, one by one, wouldn't have bothered me one bit. How about this then? I'll tie you up, then dump you in some abandoned factory. There are lots of factories like that around here. It wouldn't take that long to look through each of them one by one. Now that's how I do things, right? It's thanks to my patience that I could rescue some of those poor soldiers from you people. I only hope that your commanding officer will find you too before you die alone, despairing in the darkness. No. No, my commander wouldn't. Please, spare me. What do you want to know? I just follow orders. I don't understand the complicated stuff. Yes, I'm quite sure of that. That Sarkaz commander is much smarter than your commanding officer. Whatever he is scheming, Mandragora will never figure it out, and you lads will have to keep letting the Sarkaz toy with you. Fine. You just need to tell me where you're headed then. I'll figure out the rest myself. If you're back, why didn't you pay me a visit sooner? You have too many guests. Ah, I forgot. You didn't want to see the Confessarius messenger. If he found out that I came back to Londinium, wouldn't that spell the end of my leisurely days? Even then, you didn't have to wait for Hodoro to leave before you show yourself. He's my man. He won't ever report your presence to the court. Oh? He's your man? Don't fool yourself. You don't trust anyone. If you really trusted him, you could have just hollered my name. You're the one who decided to wait until the Dublin feline and your mercenary friends were gone before saying hello. Let's set this topic aside. You helped me lure the Dublin forces into position this morning. I owe you this one. Oh, it's no big deal. Besides, I got a little surprise out of it. A surprise? For you, of all people, to use that word, I'm guessing you found more than a few rebels. Did you meet the Rose Islanders down there? There's more. Not only did I run into them, they were the ones who rescued me from Dublin and escorted me to the city walls. If it wasn't for how antsy you were to test your prized new toy, such that I had to be blown up in front of them, perhaps I could have followed them a little longer. I actually wanted to have a good chat with her. What if I tell you there's still a chance? Another job for me? Didn't you send the Dublins and the mercenaries to guard the temporary brig? I thought you had everything in place already. You just had to extend an invitation. I prefer writing myself a few insurance policies. Alright. You owe us one then. Whoa. Did I just say us? No matter. There's no one else here. Truth be told, we don't really want to stay here for much longer. That narcissistic old man with the chalice is almost here, isn't he? Don't tell him about us. Of course. I have yet to repay your kindness, after all. Another note, you should stop masquerading as a dead man. Not only might you find your cover blown, it also makes me feel uneasy. Yeah, we almost forgot. What an upstanding sarcas you are, right, pupil of Teresa's? Relax. The next time we meet, I won't be Mr. Thomas anymore.
あんがとなドクター。あんたの指揮は確かに悪くねえな。
There's 6 different points I could defend from. Or I can just shorten it to like right here and over here. Burn this view of the city into your memories. Every time a new skyscraper is built, countless old buildings are inevitably torn down. It is this thick layer of dust accumulated over tens of hundreds of years that made today's Londinium. Will you inherit these lands? Not only will you inherit the extravagant furs you see on the outside, you must also accept the scars that lie underneath. It is extraordinarily difficult to build a new house among these old ones. Your eyes need to be able to see through the flesh and into the bones to find the place with the firmest foundation that can support the entire city. This will be your starting point. Vina. It is when you forget everything that you must inherit that you will truly become a proper successor. Siege, please think this through again. Follow my advice. We must leave this place, this dark underground cavern at once. Only timid metal crabs and insects hide underground. I can't stand hiding down here while our enemies are wreaking havoc above our heads. You know, the way you talk is really getting on my nerves. How could you call any of them spineless when every one of them stands up against the Sarkaz? If they were actually the cowards you make them out to be, they would have gone working for the Sarkaz long ago. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not trying to assign blame, but there is only so much they can do. What do you mean? There is only so much they can do. Remember who it is that saved you when you made it out of Londinium, half dead? How come you didn't say there was only so much we could do? I don't want to argue with you. I'm not arguing with you either, but I don't want to hear your cranky little mouth either. Morgan and I told you when you first ran into us about a year or so ago, if you wanted to join the Glasgow family, you'd have to rid yourself of the shitty aristocratic attitude. Let me say a word on her behalf. Dagda's working very hard too. She changed quite a bit. At a glance, no one could tell that she used to be a knight noble. Right. I learned a lot from all of you. I'm sure you know that I've long thought of myself as part of Glasgow. But now we're back in Londinium. I just can't help but be aware that I'm also a Knight of the Tower. Don't you think that anything has changed because we're back in Londinium? Do you know how many eyes are on Vina? We've never been safe. No, it's exactly because we're back now that we're especially in danger. I agree with you on that. And it's out of safety considerations that I think we should leave these militants we don't know the first thing about. Dagda, you mean you're worried the resistance could act against Vina? Their membership is too much of a mixed bag. What if some of them don't actually mean well? Where do you think we should go then? As far as I know, there are still some in the city that we can count on. My mother's friends. I couldn't contact them before the Knights of the Tower fell, but the way I see it, now might be a good time. You mean, you want us to turn to the nobles? Who do you think murdered Vina's dad and forced her to hide out in the streets for years? Who do you think hunted us down and chased us out of Londinium? We don't even know if Baird and the rest of the gang are still alive. The nobles weren't of one mind back then. But after the Sarkaz came, ha! You think the Sarkaz are our only enemy? Listen up, my lady. You want to hand Vina over to those dirty lords over my dead body? Hannah, what are you doing shouting like that? Do you want everyone to know who Vina is? Both of you, calm down. Fighting can't solve everything, especially at a crucial moment like this. Until you've really thought through the consequences of your bickering, you'd better shut your mouths. What do you want Vina to... It doesn't matter. Vina? What do you have in mind? I think Dagda's worries are reasonable. We followed Ami and the doctor here, but in the end, our objective isn't the same as theirs. All they have to do is stop the Sarkaz in the city, and that's exactly what the Resistance has been trying to do. But what do you think our objective is? Morgan? Indra. Why did you recognize me as your leader back then? Because Glasgow needed to survive in Londinium. We were still kids, and we made a lot of enemies. A lot of street punks had their eyes on us. And there were even a couple bad cops who always gave us trouble. Vina, you're so much more incredible than the rest of us. You're the one who taught me that a good boss isn't just fight. Not only did you lead us out of trouble, you've recruited so many faces into the gang. You made Glasgow stronger. That's why I'm confident you're a good boss, and that you'll be a good leader in the future. Very good. Looks like we haven't forgotten our convictions. Have you heard what the Resistance commander said? They'll save Londinium, but before that, they'll save their brothers and sisters in arms. Who's to say our objectives are different? My hammer was forged to serve this city, to serve Victoria. If my strength can save even just one Victorian, then I have no reason to leave the fight. Dagda. Sorry, I won't bring that up again. No. I just wanted to say you aren't in the wrong. What? If you have your own mission to accomplish, you needn't follow my every word. You are a fine knight, but I'm not the one who knighted you. I'm not the lord you were born to serve. No, you should find the one you exactly want to serve instead of being bound by your bloodline's oath. You're free, and you always have been. Siege? Vina, that's a little... It's not like Dagda was... Enough. You heard me well. Dagda, I await your answer. Understood, Siege. Commander Clavisia, have you thought about our cooperation proposal? Amia. May I call you Amia? Please call me Clavisia. Ah, of course, Clavisia. Doctor, and you have more than sufficiently explained what your purpose here is. If I'm understanding you correctly, Rhodes Island is a pharmaceutical company that focuses on solving infected issues? To that end, your company has worked with cities and even countries. I also know that most Sarkaz are infected. But I just wanted to make sure about this. Did you come to Londinium with this objective too? Or is this part of Rhodes Island's business to solve the Sarkaz question as well? The Sarkaz are not a question. Clavisia, the way we see it, the real issue at hand is the war between the Sarkaz and the Victorians. This war has already seen more than enough bloodshed on both the Victorian and Sarkaz sides. If the war escalates further, what happens then? How many countries will be dragged into it, and how many people? We can't allow that to happen. Amia, your ideals are noble. You are infected, and you want to fight for the infected. I can understand that. But what do you have to do with the Sarkaz? I inherited my ideals from Sarkaz. She was a Sarkaz, but she loved me, a countess, and she loved everyone. And Rhodes Island was born from her feelings. Rhodes Island fights for the infected, the Sarkaz, and all those who are oppressed because we know very well that in war they are always neglected by those cruel men who stand at the top. It doesn't matter how many arrogant men in positions of power we have to deal with. Our focus will always be those who truly need our help. The cruel men who stand at the top, eh? I see. I can empathize with how you feel, and I very much respect Rose Island's ideals. However, I hope you can understand that the Self-Salvation Corps is not the same as Rhode Island. Our people came from different backgrounds and have different ideals. And even so, we are all fighting for the same goal. We want to take back Londinium. If we can't be sure that Rhodes Island will always be on our side, even if you could persuade me, I wouldn't be able to persuade my men. We will stand together. Doctor, do I have your word? What you need is our deeds. Right. I admit you've seen for yourself that the Self-Salvation Corps is low on manpower. We can't spare anyone to your cause. Rhodes Island will not be a burden to Self-Salvation Corps. No, you're mistaken, Anya. Most of us aren't worried about your strength. It might actually be the opposite, that even. Your mission is far too ambitious. Besides, you saw it yourself, the Self-Salvation Corps hides in the gaps and crevices of the city just to make it from one battle to the next. If what you actually want is a larger battlefield, and it so happens that the battlefield is Londinium, only those on the same starting line have the right to vie for control. Doctor, I'm surprised you are so honest. You are admitting to me that although you don't currently have what it takes to face the Sarkaz, when the time is right, Rhodes Island's objective is to dispose the tyrannical region? Our objective is much more concrete. Doctor, that's not what we said before we came. Amiya, she's a military commander. These are both right, so... Politicians see nothing but bargaining chips, and generals want nothing but power. This isn't how we usually earn the trust of our collaborators. No, you're right. Just like how, even though we always seek to end wars, we have never been able to avoid one. Clovicia, our objective is clear. Just like the Self-Salvation Corps, Rhode Island will fight for the day we successfully stop the Sarkaz region. We have other means to show our sincerity, because other means is both the top ones already. We will show you Rhodes Island's might in the next fight. So, Commander Clovicia, is that to your satisfaction? Doctor, you and Ami are excellent partners. It seems Feist is right. You're the helpers we've been looking for. What did Mr. Feist... He spoke on your behalf in front of me and all the captains. What about that problem earlier, then? He's still young. Even though he's had the courage to stand up and speak, he isn't ready to take responsibility for the outcome. This burden is for me to shoulder. But you're young too. But I'm their commander. In my position, you would do the same too, wouldn't you? Yes. Right. I know you wanted us to explain our position one more time. I hope you don't mind. Of course I don't mind. Both the doctor and I are happy to have found an excellent partner. You're an excellent commander, Clovicia. Doctor, Mr. Feist told me about you, but you're still not what I expected. When the reconnaissance team comes back, let us plan this operation together. This will be a rescue mission. I believe your operators are very experienced in such missions. I look forward to working with Rhodes Island. Mission successful. And now we're back to Horn. Oh. This is Rock's team. Rock, my men just got some news from Lady Golding. Tell our contact we'll be there right away. Phew. It's a good thing we got in contact with the messenger. If it wasn't for her, I'm not sure we would have been able to locate the prison. Yeah, I only hope this trip will be fruitful. Bright, what's going on with you and Feist? Nothing. I heard you squabbling. Ever since we formed a team together, the two of you always worked together so well, like hand in glove. I've never seen you fight like that. We have differing opinions, that's all. How do you know you aren't of one mind? You should talk to him about the past long ago. He may always be banging away at his devices, but he'll listen to you. Is this why you came along? I didn't know you liked mending relationship as much as welding things together. It's all the same to me. You're both good soldiers, and I've always thought of you as siblings. Watch your 9. Phew, that was close. How come there are so many mercenaries out on the streets? The Sarkaz are trying to catch us. Rock 5. Rock 5 sees our contact. In the bakery up ahead. Go. I'll keep an eye on the mercenaries. Hey, Bill, could you get this part over to Harmo? I think he could use it when he reinforces his grain lorry. Alright. Hand me the wrench. Frank's shield too. I put on a new coat of paint on the surface. That should make it fireproof. But remind him that it's gonna crack if he lets it get too hot for too long. The technology behind this paint is obsolete. Why don't you try out Raytheon's latest formula? It's kind of expensive, but engineering came up with a cheap generic version. If you're interested, I can give you a discount. Huh? Hot, hot, hot! Whoa, you got a hole in your thermal gloves? Are you an engineer for real? Hands are like the most important thing to an engineer. Gloves are a luxury. I can't grab new ones just because I want to. Besides, how was I supposed to know you were here? My hands are usually a lot stabler. Your eyes don't look so good to me either. That's like one of the 10 must-have qualities of an engineer. Old Bill's to blame for this. Where did he go? Usually he's the only one to stand next to me. Oh, when I got here, I saw a group following your lieutenant somewhere. Didn't he promise to come help me out? You worried about them? Rock left in a hurry. We didn't even have the time to check out Rock 5. I'm worried that brawl this morning could have damaged the drones somehow. If you're worried about other stuff, there's no way you'll pop out anything too sturdy. This is all we can do, and it's only by doing it well that things will be safer for our friends above ground, right? Haha, I didn't expect Rhodes Island's engineer to be so good at comforting people. Huh? What are you even talking about? I'll have you know I'm Rhodes Island's ace physiological consultant. Even Cal Tsit, a real mean boss of mine, comes to me and opens up to de-stress. Sure. So hurry up and hand me the wrench. Huh? Let's get working already. What do you want me to crack? A few more jokes to lift your spirits? There's gonna be some real intense battles soon. Us engineering operators are like the backbone of the backbone. There's no time for all that moping. Alright, let's get working. Right. Show me that drone. Rock 17. It's lacking a flight stability module. I took one off my broken babies. Huh? You sure about that? Are there any patents or anything? Shh, quiet. I did it behind Doctor's back. Now that you know how lucky you are, what are you standing there for? Give me my wrench. God damn it, Closure. God damn it, Closure. What do you say? You saw Lady Golding? What did she say? Understood. We need to send word about this to the commander right now. Ugh. Hostiles! They found us. Rock, retreat. Find the captain. Rebels spotted on Euston Road. Seize them. Run! What's this buzzing thing? A drone? I get it. You were at the port this morning. Rock 5, what's the matter? Did we miss? Is it because we didn't calibrate it? We didn't spot the enemies just now either. Feline, don't you think that's going to work? It might have worked on the Royal Court squaddies, but it won't work on us. Rock, is your drone dead? It's okay. Even without it, I can still fight. I didn't expect to take damage from you. Looks like your arts are no less impressive than your courage. I'll put in a word for you with my captain and let you die here. You don't have to go to the factory anymore. Saves you a painful death. Ugh. No, Bill. Rock, get going. I'll hold it here. No, we'll go together. You need to get Lady Golding's message back. The commander must know. She must know that the messenger... This message is very important. Bill, I believe in the commander, and I believe in you and Feist. Listen to me. Stop fighting. We're all a family. Back then, we were only able to escape because of your dad. Your dad stood in the Sarkez's way too. Go. What's with this thick smoke? Did he have a grenade? How dare you hurt my men? You aren't getting out of this alive. Captain? Take him back and lock him away with the other rebels. Captain, this guy tried to blow us up and got himself caught in the blast. He won't live much longer. He doesn't have to live much longer. Very well. It's the general's orders, right? We should go after the rest of them? Do it. Don't hold out too much hope, though.
A smith's gotta be ready to pay the debts accrued by the weapons she forges. Let's begin. Awaiting orders.
Here I come!
戦場、それは変わらないもの。よくだよ、祝おうよ。立ち上がる。
悪くない位置取りだね。
連綿たる山々となれ。よくだよ、祝おうよ。立ち上がる。
抗ってみなよ。
Now's the time to help everyone out.
Relax! It'll be over in an instant!
よくだよ、祝おうよ。立ち上がる。
油断は禁物よ。
I'm so tense. Get away from me, please!
Forward. It's my turn. Suppress them.
よくだよ、祝おうよ。立ち上がる。
Doctor, face me!
私の声に応える。
速さです。
ほら頑張れ。もうちょっとで僕に勝てるかもしれないよ。
よくだよ、祝おうよ。立ち上がる。
影から
あなたにした。
大地こそが我が友。
I'll charge the weak spots!
さて、どうするかな。
大地こそが我が友。私の声に応える。
感染者の権利は感染者自身の手で取り戻す。
Heidi is 10-11. Ugh. How's their health? Oh. This is the last one I'm going to do for this stream. And then we'll do more next time I decide to stream this. So, 10-8, and then we end there. Because there's some other things I need to do tonight. And I need to... There's some other things I want to... Some other things I want to do, and some other people I want to talk to. So let's do this. Also, my voice needs a rest after all of this. If only I didn't have like a small bit of asthma, I'd be able to read more. But it just takes my breath, too much of my breath. Oh. Going right into a stage?
I've got this. I can do this.
Let's begin.
We'll probably stop it over here, if we can.
Awaiting orders. Awaiting order.
自分のための戦いを。よくだよ。祝おうよ。立ち上がれ。
Awaiting orders.
I'll take the lead. The rest is up to you guys.
Arch unit charging. Now's the time to help everyone out.
Doctor, leave the big guys to me.
Can I really look a distance?
連綿たる山々となれ。
When 'tis a choice of life and death, why shouldst thou lay down thy arms?
この辺、温度が低すぎるかな。
悪くない位置取りだね。
A knife, even a virtuous king, must from time to time look to the sword.
さて、どうするかな。
Vermin. Yielding is not an. Yielding is not an option.
鮮血が武器を染め、戦場を沸き立たせる。
Mission accomplished.
There we go. Boss, you were right. We lost them. Those rebels. Crafty little sand beast, a lot of them. Just 5 seconds, and it's like they all burrowed into the sand without a trace. Sure enough, and that's why we shouldn't waste our energy on them. Guard your position well, until they poke their heads out of their holes again. Sure, you're the boss. Looks like you found yourself a bunch of loyal subordinates, boss. They think it'll pay dividends. It's good for morale. They trust you too. I can tell. It's far more than what a mercenary should afford another mercenary. Just goes to show how effective Manfred's plan is. You think real highly of him. I almost forgot you two are practically brothers from another mother these days, right? Just look at the mansion he gave you. The den alone is larger than your old backyard. It was a count's estate. I killed its previous owner. Don't tell me that's what's weighing on your conscience. He was having afternoon tea at the time. His wife and their 3 children were sitting right in front of him. Sure, this is nothing like the kind of work we used to take, but you're the one who agreed to the job. Nothing to mourn when our consciousness died so long ago. Then let's not ask these questions. Whatever it is you want to know, just take a look for yourself. Not like you don't know already. Is you being under a lot of stress supposed to somehow make me feel better? Whatever. Let's talk about something else. It's not like the time for us to find comfort in each other. I'm here because I have some advice for you. Pay attention to what's under your feet. You mean, mercenaries aren't all that trustworthy. If you don't pay attention to the shadows when you walk, your efforts might just be all for naught. Is that all you came here for? No, that's not all. What I really wanted to say is, after drifting around for so long, she's on the road. Are our men in position? Yes, all that place per the Sarkaz orders. Don't be daft. I'm not talking about what the Sarkaz wants us to do. Captain, are we really going to start this operation tonight? Are you sure we won't? Are you trying to ask if we'll fall into Manfred's trap? Do you think I'm so stupid that I can't tell what he's trying to do? No, of course not. I wouldn't dare to. He's trying to test me, and I'll let him test me. Our men are his to order around, but he doesn't know how many of us there are. So we saw through the Sarkaz's gatekeepers then. Shut up. I hate putting it that way. It makes us sound as though we're the Sarkazes. The Sarkazes... Yeah, whatever. We just have to bear with it today. Once we're done with this last thing, we'll leave Londinium straight away. Will we really? That's wonderful news. Ever since I was a kid, I've always hated Londinium. My parents both came to this place and never went back. The city eats people. Right. I don't like it either. Have you ever seen another city like this? So many plates, so many tall towers, and so many sewers. Every time I smell that stench, the smell of grease on the nobles' dining tables, it makes me want to puke. And now we can finally leave, get the word out, and put on your best performance tonight. Do not give Manfred anything he can use against us. And I want the 10 best fighters to come with me. As for you, I want you to tail Manfred. You saw where he was heading, right? Yes, Captain. Good. Tonight, I'll rescue our spy. I've stayed here in Londinium for so long, I have to at least get one thing done before I go home with my mind at ease, right? I won't let our leader down again. Horn, you're back. I am. Where's Robin? The team got back a while ago. Good. Did they find any medicine? Let me check on Sally. There's no need. What are you talking about? do you mean, Sally? I still have to see him. Victoria has lost another fine soldier. A little girl has lost her father. How many more must we lose before we finally see the end of this tragedy? What was Sally's girl's name again? Was it Erin? Elisa? If memory serves, his family lived in County Ascarat. Blake, pack up his belongings, please. Once the war is over, we'll pay his family a visit. But he didn't leave anything behind. Nothing at all? No, Blake. At the very least, he left a story. We have to go on this journey still. His daughter will want to hear his story. I will tell her that, even in our darkest hour, her father never gave in to suffering. Right. I'll come with you, Horn, once the war is over. Also, I have a message for you, from Sally. What did he say? He said, "Sorry, Lieutenant, but you must live on." He apologized to me. He did, and I understood him. We all did. As soldiers, we all considered that we could die out there somewhere one day. But after we saw all that, Sally, no, all of us understood what's far scarier. Take a look at the state of Londinium. It's our home, but it's become a prison. Is dying an honorable death too much to ask for? It shouldn't be. Indeed, but that's the truth now. We all know that well, but we want you to keep marching down this road, because you gave us hope. Horn, you didn't have to carry all our hopes on your back. It's too much for one person. It's harder to live, huh? Looks like I owe her an apology. Who's her? A fine Victorian soldier, just like the rest of you. Let's not talk about this now. Tell everyone we don't have time to mourn. Did you find out where they're keeping our people? There's a high chance. If the information I got turns out to be correct, the Sarkaz will move them tomorrow morning. I was gonna ask what you think. You don't have to ask. Just give us the order. Very well then. We'll begin as soon as the sun sets. I've marked the most probable locations on the map. Any thoughts? There are 8 spots? Even with our operators, it'll be hard to check all these places in 2 days. Unfortunately, all 8 fulfill the requirements of a temporary prison. There are no settlements near any of them, which means that it's difficult for news to get in and out. They're all located near the highway that leads to the central Londinium, which facilitates the Sarkaz fighters' movements around the city. And none of them are connected to the plate we are in. Did the Sarkaz commander figure out you're operating underground? He's a smart man. We mustn't underestimate him. Then, if this is where they're keeping prisoners, shouldn't there be a massive security detail guarding the place? We thought about that too. Unfortunately, even though our recon team managed to track the Sarkaz movements in each plate, they haven't found any openings. What is this place? An abandoned factory. They say it's used to make candy, and don't get the wrong idea. That is just what the civilians in the industrial districts usually call it. What they actually find is organic compound called loxic coal. It's packaged like sweets for children, so everyone's come to call it candy. A candy factory. Sounds familiar. Make this our top priority in the search. Doctor, may I know why? We may know who owns it. Ah, of course, you mean Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas has been working with the Sarkaz, right? He said he saw the Sarkaz using his factory for some shady business, and he was almost silenced because of it. Not to mention, he has some information that Dublin wanted too. Something the Sarkaz doesn't want anyone to know. Alright then. Tell Feist that this factory is our prime objective. Harmo, keep working on the move. We will keep that option open to us too. Commander! What is it, Lawrence? The recon team is back. They ran into some Sarkaz mercenaries above ground. Casualties? 4 injured and 1 captured. Sorry, everyone. The meeting ends here. I need to take a look. Commander. Rock, what are you doing? We just got your wounds bandaged. No, I have something I must tell the commander. Did you find her? Yes, we got news from Lady Golding. She's still at the school in the northern residential district, and she's safe. But they were ambushed by the Sarkaz during a social gathering 2 days ago. And the messenger lady was taken prisoner. Wait a moment, please. Is the messenger you're referring to the one who requested you to rendezvous with Rhodes Island? The lady who helped us get into Victoria. Caltit's old friend. Right, that's her. Amia, Doctor, our rescue operation has moved up. She's very important to the Self-Salvation Corps. She holds a lot of information, and this might even affect our evacuation operation. Yes, I understand. She's irreplaceable to Rhodes Island, too. This will be our first joint operation. Good. I have faith that Rhodes Island will help us rescue our imprisoned messenger from the Sarkaz. Our strongest warrior, our most important ally, and our most trusted friend, Lady Heidi Thompson. It's Heidi? Oh! It's Heidi! Caltit's old friend? The one who was hitting on Caltit, probably, because she was in a suit. This makes so much sense.
Weaklings.
Oh, Heidi. Oh, that makes so much sense.
Doctor, 疲れた?
Chocolate Street, there it is. I need to do that one too, but not right now. Doctor, 疲れた? And that is going to be it for tonight. So, tomorrow will be a social for Lunacore. I will most likely attend it, so I'll see you then. Until then, we're gonna go raid Lily Bees. So let's raid Lily. VT? Yeah, it's VT. There we go. So, see you guys tomorrow.